quality of consciousness becomes a seed. When we bring it into action, it is sown in the soil of our life, and just like every seed, it will turn into something. Some scene, some situation, some scenario. When we understand that our consciousness behind every action is creating our life, we feel much more of an incentive to create pure thoughts. One way to begin creating pure karmas is to learn the art of enjoying pure thoughts, to savor the creation of pure thoughts, to allow the self to go beyond limits and to declare you are as peaceful, as joyful, as beautiful, as loving as you wish to be. Go ahead now, take a deep breath and leave the scenes and sights of your world behind. Good or bad, just let them go. And feel yourself slip into a deeper space of quietude. Visualize yourself entering a portal. A place where you can feel the great mystery of the universe. A place where you can dance with the energy of your own thoughts. A place beyond any ticks of a clock or any to-do list. Allow yourself to go there now and just bask in that pure energy and light. And for the next few moments, we are going to create thoughts of well-being. Feel this quiet pulse of spiritual energy inside of you. As you affirm to yourself silently in your mind for the next few moments, I am pure, spiritual, clean, fresh energy. Say that softly and silently in your mind. I am pure, spiritual, fresh, clean energy. I am full of light, pure, fresh, spiritual, clean energy. Pure as crystal clean waters, untouched by any of the pollutants of the world. Fresh, innocent even, of waste, negativity, of any thought that you don't need. You are simply pure, clean, fresh energy. Now gently affirm to yourself, I am full of vitality. Because of this fresh, clean state of mind, I have energy, I have joy, I'm excited to be alive. Take a few moments to create the consciousness, I am full of vitality, excited to be alive, full of energy because my mind is fresh and clean. Take a few moments to say that gently to yourself, in your own words, with your own visuals. Affirm it as if it is so, not something you have to become, but something you already are. And now, having taken that time to create pure thoughts, leave your sanctuary, your spiritual workshop, and come back to the world, ready to sow new seeds with new, pure, elevated thoughts.
Shanti, good morning.
Shanti.
Good morning.
How is everyone?
Good.
Good, good. Thank you.
Nice, nice, nice.
How are you, Saurabh? You
Yeah,
ask everyone.
yeah, very good. Thank you. So today the thought was to take up the subject of karma and dharma. Karma and dharma. We were having some conversations last week, and this topic came up about karma and how important is karma in our life and what drives the karma. And that is the dharma. So in English, we say karma is like doing and dharma is like being. And so karma in Swa-Dharma. Swa-Dharma is the being who I really am. Swa. Swa means myself. And par means that does not belong to me. And so how it is being before doing. We call ourselves human beings. Doing is something that happens on its own, and the quality of doing, the quality of karma, depends on the quality of my being or my inner state of mind. Like today, we were listening to the message about performing an action on a stage. So every act is performed on a stage. Like if we go to watch a play, and so before the play begins, we need to create a good stage. And then actors come and perform their act. So in the same way, it is like the inner stage, once it is stable, the inner stage of Swa-Dharma, Swa-Dharma. Then the act automatically reflects that state of mind. So many times we think about how to purify our action, how to make our actions elevated. And the way to do that is to focus on being, focus on Swa-Dharma. Dharma is a word in Hindi. Actually, it is translated as religion, and it's also translated as true nature. True nature. So the dharma of fire is to burn. The dharma of water is to cool things down. The dharma of plants is to create food. In the same way, everything has a dharma or a role or a purpose or a specific duty. That is dharma. And so what is my dharma? Dharma of the soul. The original nature of the soul. And in meditation, we experience that the true nature or the true religion of the soul is peace, is love, is silence, is stability, is compassion. Is to be worry free. And so creating that inner state of mind that reflects my true nature. That reflects my true nature. It's like any action that we perform, that is karma, what it does is an action creates an impression. So karma creates a sanskara, and that sanskara then influences the mind or the state that is being. So it's like a cycle. So once I get seated on the state of my eternal truth of who I am, my original nature, then when I come into action, that creates a impression, a positive impression, or we say an eternal impression, or that activates that eternal impression. And that eternal impression then influences the being, the thought more. So it's like a circle. Being, doing, then being. So I'm being, then doing, and then through impressions I'm again being. So reinforcing the being. So the thought was to explore this entire subject of karma and dharma, Swa-Dharma, and what it takes to then create that state of Swa-Dharma. Many times we are thinking or we are contemplating about Pardharma. That is something that is not mine. And how that takes the mind away from the truth. And that creates then worry in the mind. Like today we were discussing, like being carefree or worry free is basically to be able to not take any self-respect in doing, but to take the self-respect in being myself. So I will have some slides. Are the slides visible to everyone?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So we have the image of a tree and holding a tree. It's like karma is the entire expansion, like a tree. There's so many different karmas or actions that we perform. And what holds the actions is my dharma, is my the inner stage that I create or hold in my mind. And so we say being before doing. So first to create that inner stage, and then to come out into the world of expression. Generally, it is doing and then being in the external world. It's like my actions, I perform actions in order to feel loved, sometimes, or in order to feel at peace. But here it is just the opposite. It's like being before doing. So I'm inherently holding on to the awareness, and that helps to inspire then my actions. So being before doing. So the whole emphasis is on being and enhancing the power of the being. The example we give is dharma is the seed and karma is the tree. So just like the seed is invisible, but the seed is powerful, and the seed carries the entire expansion of the tree. So entire expansion is merged within the seed. In the same way, dharma is the seed and karma is the tree. So based on my dharma, my karma gets created. It's like when I'm in the dharma of who I really am, Swa-Dharma, we call it Swa-Dharma, then the tree is the tree of virtues, and the tree of the karmas are then the karmas that are filled with love and happiness. But if the dharma is of, we say, role consciousness or par-dharma, then the actions, sometimes we'll say they are more like reactions. Then the actions have a give and take of, or exchange of heavy energy or sorrow. And that is what is a karmic account, an exchange of heavy energy. So just like if I have to nurture the seed, the tree, I have to nurture the seed. So the extent or the growth of the tree depends on the seed. So my dharma, not as the external role, the external identity. That dharma is actually par-dharma, but Swa-Dharma. Like we hear in the messages, right? Peace is my Swa-Dharma. And we say Om Shanti. We say Om is I am, and Shanti is my true nature or true religion. And the tree, when the tree has reached a certain level, then the tree has fruits, and the fruits then have the seeds in them. So it's like every action, when it is a fruitful action, then it has a seed of dharma. That seed is then an inspiration for others. And so it's like an exponential growth. And that's what the service is. So I stay in my dharma, and it reflects in my karma, and that karma has a seed, and that seed can then be planted, and then that creates another beautiful tree. And the seed is completely invisible. It's hidden in the ground. But that seed is what contains the nourishment for the tree. If we say Swa-Dharma versus Par-Dharma. So whenever we talk about selfless action or elevated action, it is coming from the seed of Swa-Dharma. And whenever we feel a reaction which is influenced by any like subtle dependency, expectation, desire, that is Par-Dharma. It's coming from the seed of Par-Dharma. And so when I identify the seed and nurture the seed, then I'm able to get its results in terms of the actions. So if I really understand Swa versus Par, something that belongs to me versus something that does not belong to me. Like yesterday we were talking about this, a simple like exercise. If we right now, just wherever we are sitting, if we were to describe the the world that we are looking outside, what do we see in that world? Right now in the room, wherever we are sitting, something that is external or something that belongs to nature or the story, and then we would describe, we have this chairs, this table, this wall, pictures, fan, everything. But do I consider this, even this hand, this face, this body, as something that belongs to the nature, as something that is not mine? It is all par dharma. The Hindi word we also call as prakriti, nature. Prakriti is akriti, that is par, that is not mine. So any form that is visible to these physical eyes is parakriti, that is prakriti. The interesting thing is, through these eyes, we can see everything, but we cannot see ourselves. We can even see this body, but that is not who we are. So through these eyes, we can see whatever is outside. But Swa, to look at and understand, realize the Swa, then I need the third eye. Then I need the eye of understanding, eye of wisdom, Swa. There are many other words. We say Swa-Darshan, Swarup, Swadesh, Swachintan. Everything starting with Swa means that is something that is mine. So very easy way to nourish this seed of Swa-Dharma is to just have this conversation with myself. That what is Swa and what is Par? Where is that line between the soul, the being that I am, and the external world? And just that realization empowers the seed, which then makes my actions automatically elevated. Why elevated? Because they're coming from an elevated state of mind. Swa-Dharma. So let us create a moment to just experience the difference between Swa and Par. So everything that is visible to me right now is Par, is not something that really belongs to me. It's all a visible world. Par, Par. And so something that does not belong to me, anything happening to that world, should not influence my mind. And because it shouldn't influence my mind, it shouldn't influence my karma. So if I just peel off all the layers of Par, anything that is visible, let me right now make it invisible. Just like things disappear. So in this practice, I just try to make everything fade away. And what stays, the invisible, the light that illuminates my mind, illuminates my life, is Swa. Just light, sparkling light. All it takes is this. And the moment I stabilize in my original form, eternal form, I experience automatically my Swa-Dharma, my original eternal nature of peace. And because the original nature of the soul is full, completely full, like a king, like an emperor, that's what the soul is like, completely full. And so every action is then a selfless action. Because the soul doesn't need anything from the physical world. And so every action is just an expression of the fullness. Just like a small child is always full, and so it's always selfless. Doesn't have any desires. Why he doesn't have desires? Because he doesn't have needs. He feels full inside. So I, the soul, I'm full within. And the word for selfless is in niswart. Niswart. Swart, swa-arth. Swa-arth. So my understanding of Swa determines niswart. So when when I am in the awareness of a light, metaphysical being, then there is no need. And so there is nothing that the soul can take from this drama, this story. And that's why every action is automatically a selfless action. But the moment I am in pardharam, religion or nature of something that is not mine, thinking about analyzing the story or the role or the insecurities around it, that makes my action filled with needs and desires. And that's why those actions are more like reactions. And in reactions, there is a give and take of sorrow. And because there is a give and take of sorrow, a karmic account is created. And that karmic account makes the soul heavy. And that's what creates heaviness in the mind. So it all begins with just a very simple understanding and realization of Swa-Dharma. Swa-Dharma. When we talk about karma, action, the soul is metaphysical. But the soul comes into the world of matter, on the field of action. And how do I perform action? I perform action on the basis of my sense organs. Karmendriya, we call it. 5 sense organs. And so when I am in pardharam, then I'm using the sense organs in the reaction mode. In the reaction mode. And when I'm in Swa-Dharma, then I'm using these sense organs in the elevated or selfless action mode. So, the sense organs, the eyes to see, ears to hear, to listen, mouth to speak, nose, we say, to smell, and then to touch. And then also the subtle sense organs of the soul. That is the mind, intellect, to sense the world. So when we say the soul is in the state of an emperor or the state of a master, then the soul decides what is it I want to see through these eyes. What is it I want to listen through these ears? What is it I want to speak? Then all the actions are automatically filled with the presence of the soul energy. So this body or these sense organs are the intermediate or the channel or the medium through which the soul expresses itself, or the karma is performed. And so my relationships with these sense organs and this body is very important. So either my senses are introvert, means they see the self, see the soul, or they are extrovert, means they see the par or the world outside. And everything actually is linked with the sense organs and the body. It's like my story of this role is linked with the body. The moment I leave the body, that entire story fades away, does not exist anymore. Soul in the body, that's when the story begins. Birthday, we say, the soul entered, soul left, okay, and that is the time period of the role. So very important relationship actually is the soul with the sense organs. And like this morning we were discussing the relationship between the 5 sense organs, the 5 elements of matter, and the 5 vices. And there's a very intricate connection. So the moment I kind of conquer my eyes, means I choose to see. I choose to see the soul. I choose to listen to the divine and listen to my inner calling. And so this connection. So I have conquered the eyes, and then I'm able to conquer a different form of vice and an associated form of matter, the 5 elements. Sometime we can have a good discussion on this subject, this interconnection between the sense organs, vices, and the physical elements. And it's also linked to the 5 original qualities of the soul. And so just focusing on one allows me to then master everything else. That's why we say an emperor is a conqueror. So an emperor of the mind, is a conqueror of the senses, and conqueror of vices, and a conqueror of matter. These days in science also we see that how through experiments they kind of show and reveal how the energy of the soul is what dictates, is what governs my thoughts, my feelings, and has the power to influence the world around me. So there is a nice little clip, a science study about this, where there's some researchers studying the effect of the energy of the soul, or dharma, on the visible world. We say karma. Just a second and I'll play the video. Thank you.
Now then, we often hear these days about the power of positive thinking. Usually this focuses on what it can do for the individual. But now a Russian scientist says it can also benefit the world around us. RT's Sarah Firth looks at the science behind the claims.
Can you directly influence the world around you with just the power of your mind? Although it might sound far-fetched, a leading Russian scientist believes we can do exactly that. And using a device that photographs human energy fields, he's attempting to prove it.
We are developing idea that our consciousness is an active part of our material world. And with our consciousness, we can directly influence our world.
To bridge our understanding of the unseen world of energy, scientific experiments are carried out using a technique called bioelectric photography. The assumption is that we're constantly emitting energy. Now, bioelectric photography works to capture this energy field that's seen as a light around the body, or what some people would call your aura. Discovered in the 1930s by Russian inventor Semyon Kirlian, he realized that stimulating a subject with a short electrical impulse, you get a burst of light, of photons and electrons around the subject.
It looks like aura, but I don't like this word because it has some metaphysical meaning. I prefer the word energy field.
The device itself photographs each finger individually, with different fingers responsible for different parts of the body, and feeds the information into a computer to interpret. One supposed benefit of this technique is early diagnosis of serious illnesses like heart disease and cancer, but some who work in the mainstream medical profession remain unconvinced.
From the point of view of today's medicine, I don't think this can be used as medical evidence. And I would even go further and say that it's harmful rather than harmless, as it diverts people from the true causes of their illness and from the truly effective treatment.
And some of the claims in energy field research are even more far-reaching.
With our emotions, with our intentions, we can directly influence our environment, our space. Of course, this idea is absolutely new. That's why it has a lot of criticism still. It has a very important message for all of us, because we demonstrated that positive emotions, they have very strong influence. But the same and even more strong influence has negative emotions. But in one case, energy comes up, in another case, comes down. So it means that if we are developing in ourselves ability to create love, to create positive emotions, we change space around ourselves.
The idea that our personal energy can change the structure of the world around us is viewed by many with deep skepticism. But in the sphere of bioelectric photography, work continues to find scientific proof for the theory. Sarah Firth, RT, St. Petersburg.
And this is just one of these studies, and there's so many different studies, as many of us already know, in this field. And so again, conquering the mind allows me to then operate in a mode to automatically generate loving and peaceful feelings. Another way to, an important aspect to look at it is, we say dharma, dharana, and karma. So again, dharma is my original nature, and dharana is inculcation, and karma is action. So it's like dharma to dharana. It's like to hold or to imbibe or to inculcate the dharma. And then it goes into the karma. Like every day we listen to the points of dharana. We say dharana. Dharana is I'm able to absorb or soak or hold. Dharana. The roots for both the words are same, dharma, dharana. And also if we say dharti, ground, earth, it's like something that holds, like the ground state, the reference state. So to hold the jewels of knowledge that we listen to, it depends on how much I'm paying attention on my Swa-Dharma. So when my Swa-Dharma is strong, then my Dharana is also strong. And so then I reach a point where Dharma and Dharana go parallel. It's like together. And with that Dharana, then the karma is like integration of that in my life. It becomes very easy and natural. It's like holding, the act of holding. Like the other day we were discussing, like if we keep a pot in the right way, it can hold water. But if I keep a pot in the opposite way, it cannot hold the water. So it's like when I'm introverted, it means I'm looking at the self, Swa-Dharma. Then I can hold. That's why, before listening to the jewels of knowledge, we spend time in silence to just create that state of introversion, introspection. So that as I'm listening to the jewels of knowledge, then I'm completely able to absorb them, or dharana. And then it automatically influences my karma. It comes into action. Then there's no effort needed to integrate it into the action. So karma becomes automatic. Dharma, dharana, and karma. In the same way, if I'm extroverted, per dharma, right? Then in that extroversion, then I hold on to things that don't matter. I hold on to things of the story or the drama. And then that influences my karma, my actions. And then another subject related to this is then we say karma yoga. Karma yoga. It's like dharma is like yoga. Yoga. So one dharma is Swa-Dharma, and then yoga is that connection with the divine. When I am in Swa-Dharma, then yoga becomes natural. And then it automatically integrates in my actions. And that's what we call as karma yoga. Means actions that are in remembrance, in a very natural way. So a karma yogi life, a life in which every action becomes an inspiration. We say the Hindi words are yad and yadgar. Yad is yoga and yadgar is memorial. So if I perform actions in remembrance of the one, then they become a memorial. Memorial. And so this yoga fills my actions within that divine energy of love and belonging. So dharma and karma. Right? Being is yoga, doing is karma. So being before doing yoga, pay attention to yoga, and then karma is like then a balanced state of karma yoga. This is another beautiful word, Karan Karavanhar. It means one who is inspiring me to do, enabling me to do. Karan Karavanhar. It's like Karan is again karma. Karavanhar is like a state of mind where I feel that I'm being used as an instrument of the divine. And so the instrument really doesn't focus on karma. The instrument focuses on just being clean, being accurate, so that it can be used by the master. And so here also, the emphasis is not too much on the action, but the emphasis is on the cleanliness and purity of mind, so that the divine can then use the soul as an instrument to carry out or to radiate that vibration in the world. And the feeling of being an instrument doesn't really have a mind of its own. An instrument is just there to follow the directions that are given by the one who is using the instrument. So I offer my mind to the divine, and I just allow the divine to then use my mind as an instrument to carry out or to share that love, that divinity. So let us just create a moment to experience right now that we souls are instruments. Instruments. Just like a flute player uses flute as a musical instrument. So I, the soul, my mind, I'm just an instrument to be used by the divine. So my job really is to just stay clean and being in love with the one who is using me. To make my channel clear. Then another thought on the subject of karma and yoga is we say yoga karma su kaushalam. This is a Sanskrit shlok. What it means is with yoga, our actions achieve perfection. Karma su is like karma. Kaushalam means perfection or accuracy. And a memorial of that is Lord Ganesha. And I believe yesterday was Ganesh Chaturthi, very auspicious festival in Indian context. And so it really means that every action is perfect when the mind is in union, in connection with the divine. And so karma and dharma, right? So when the dharma is Swa-Dharma and yoga, then actions are filled with perfection in a very natural way. Very natural way. So like all the festivals have a spiritual symbolism, and many of us might already know the symbolism of Lord Ganesha. And we will just share a little clip about this symbolic significance of Ganesha and being accurate and perfect in our actions. Just a minute and we'll play that little short clip.
महाकाल नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया.
In some of the places in India, Ganesh Chaturthi is also a very, very major festival. And I find the story of Ganesh fascinating. How come we're remembering this being with the form that he has, the elephant head and the human body? And just to take it up very, very briefly, Ganesh is the progeny of Shiva and Parvati. Shiva, the benefactor, the divine, the supreme, and Parvati, the soul that's able to stay beyond, Par Vatan mein rehne wali, Pavitrata ke vrata ko dharan karne wali, a soul that's able to observe purity in their lives, the fast of purity. And thirdly, Pavitra Vritti Vali, the soul who has maintained purity in their attitude. And when I follow the path of purity and I connect with the divine, the supreme, through that union is born wisdom. And Ganesh is a symbol of wisdom. And on the one side, the elephant head represents wisdom, but on the other side, we also call the swastika the Ganesh. And the swastika, Swa-Dharma, to be able to see the self, and Swa-Darshan, to see the stages that I, the soul, have gone through the whole eternal cycle, from the golden through the silver to the copper to the iron age. And when I can see myself through the whole cycle, that is perfect wisdom. And of course, they say that invoking Ganesh means that you're invoking good omens. So when you have a new home, you're starting the new year, you have a new car, whatever it is you do, first is the worship of Ganesh. And so worshipping Ganesh, that is reminding ourselves of perfect wisdom, of soul consciousness and soul self-realization, this is the way in which truly we can have the highest omens of God above us. And through that, when perfect wisdom guides our life, of course there's going to be victory over all negativity and evil. And of course, the respect that Ganesh has for his parents is being remembered in the story of how, in competition with his brother, he was actually able to circle the world 3 times much, much faster than his brother did, just simply by circling his parents. And the little mouse that was his chariot, the mouse is able to go anywhere and do anything it wants. And so with wisdom, I'm able to achieve whatever it is I set for myself and choose to do, and have the highest omens of success with me. Om Shanti.
As you were growing up, we were always fascinated by Lord Ganesh, and just understanding it represents that spiritual wisdom that comes by the clarity, which again is a result of following just one direction, a clear direction coming from the divine. And then the different karmic accounts. It's like what all different karmic accounts we have. We have with the mind, with the body, in our relationships, with the matter, with material possessions, with time. So this is where there is an exchange of energy between the soul and something, a different energy. So with the mind, so I have an account with the mind. So if I keep feeding the mind with, let's say, wasteful thoughts, then the mind will feel weak. If I feed the mind with positive thoughts, the mind will feel strong. So there's that account between the soul and the mind. And so wherever there is an account, I really need to be aware of how I am exchanging energy with the body. How am I using this body, this instrument? If I'm using for just some temporary indulgence or pleasures, then I'm creating a negative account with the body, because I am using this beautiful energy of nature in a wrong way. And so creating a positive account, then the body also helps at the right time, cooperates at the right time. Then relationships. It's like in my relationships, if there is an exchange of unconditional love and respect, if that's the energy that is given from my end, if I'm looking at everyone as a soul, then that is the same energy that comes back to me. Then matter, if I'm using all the resources of the matter in a prudent way, if I'm respecting water, respecting air, all the elements, then they will also respect the soul. Same like material possessions. If I'm using them to create a positive influence in the world, then they also then help the soul to grow up in spirituality. And time, do I waste time? Do I use time in a nice way, good way? If I use time in a good way, in a successful way, then time also helps the soul. Sometimes we say that this happened by chance, or this happened and someone came to help. It's because I've used the time in a worthwhile way, that then time is then helping the soul. And so all these karmic accounts either are credit or debt. It's like a debt account is where I have used every one of them from the perspective of Swa-Dharma. And a positive account or a credit is when I have used all of them in the perspective of Swa-Dharma. And so these karmic accounts, we can easily overcome them. We can burn these karmic accounts in the fire of, we say, yoga. So that union of the soul with the divine, that fire, when it creates or reaches the form of fire, then all those burdens are removed. Like today we were listening 3 words, remember me alone. So when I remember, I the soul, remember the Supreme. That's all, alone. In that remembrance, then the fire is generated. And that fire easily lightens the soul. So the soul becomes double light. And all the karmic heaviness is removed. Otherwise, the only other way to remove it is to then receive the same amount of heaviness that was exchanged. So that's what's called Karam Yoga versus Karam Bhog. Karam Bhog is suffering. Karam Yoga is beautiful way of just absolving all the heaviness from the soul. And when we do this over a long period of time, then we experience a state of mind which is called, we say, karmatit. Karmatit. Again, it's a Hindi word. Karmatit is beyond the influence of any action. So when all the karmic accounts have been settled, then the soul is completely free, just free to be. Then nothing of Pardharam influences. This is the state which is very close to the experience that the divine God has. Is that experience the soul does. See, because God is beyond any account of action. He doesn't have any fruit or anything related to the action. And then soul starts to feel that because all the burden and heaviness is erased or diluted by remembrance or this fire of remembrance. Atit is like, the word atit means beyond. Atit. Beyond the influence of action, karma. As we're also celebrating this month of August, we remember, as most of us know, Dadi Prakash Mani, the administrative head or the main instrument of the Brahma Kumaris until 2007, when she reached her stage of karmatit, or perfection, and left the body. And so she's the one who really lived this life of being karmatit and life of a carefree emperor. That's what her life was. We have listened to so many of her stories and experiences from so many different sources. And the thought was, we'll just briefly watch a little clip on her life, on her karma, and what she represented. All of us, whether we have met her or not, just by the look on her face, it's just so overflowing, unconditional, selfless in every action. Even I had the fortune of meeting her personally a few times, and just her radiance. And I remember the very first time I went to Mount Abu, it was in the year 2002, I believe. And we just happened to be standing right next to Dadiji. And then I remember, like, she was sitting on a chair and I was just standing right very close by. And the moment I came into her energy field, I just felt a pull outside, that something is pulling me beyond the body. And that was so real, that pull. And that is because she was completely beyond any karmic account. Like, she was living that life of perfection. And so she could inspire that experience. So we'll just watch a little clip about our beloved Dadi Prakash Mani. The word Prakash Mani means a jewel of light. Om Shanti.
say, give peace, take peace. Give love, take love. Give happy, take happy.
Om Shanti. We have just Dadi's presence and her energy just takes us all beyond. So thank you so much. Om Shanti. And would like to open up, and please feel free to share your thoughts and turn on the videos if possible. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Saurabhai. Thank
Om
you.
Shanti.
Thank you. Beautiful class. And once again, just wonderful. So much effort you're putting in to give us the knowledge and share Baba's wisdom. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And just another reminder on how the focus has to be on more connecting with Baba and staying in remembrance, and then automatically the karma will follow. Automatically the right karma, when we are in our true essence, when we remember that, then the right karmic actions automatically are following. So very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Simran Bhai. Yeah. And I know Simran Bhai had a beautiful video also about what was the name, Simran Bhai?
The one.
Yeah.
Oh, Sudha Murthy.
Sudhaji, right?
Sudhaji, right. Right.
Yeah, maybe we'll watch sometime. We just didn't get time today.
Yeah.
Definitely watch it. And Simran Bhai had shared this beautiful where how being selfless. What does it mean to be selfless? So very nice. Thank you, Simran Bhai.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabhai. Thank you. Very nice.
Hello, Dina Ben. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Thanks. Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. And you're doing excellent job. Yeah, every Sunday.
Thank you. It's all of you and your blessings, and I get to learn myself. Thank you.
We are learning. Thank you.
Thank you. We see Krishna Bhai. Om Shanti, Krishna Bhai.
Oh, Saurabhai,
Om Shanti.
really it is an excellent talk, and you vividly explained several concepts. It was, and we really gained a lot out of your talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Krishna Bhai. Appreciate it. Thank you. It's nice. We've become like a good family every Sunday. So it's so nice to have everyone. Just hear from everyone. Thank you for your presence. Shanti.
Thank you, brother, for sharing such a wonderful knowledge. Thank you. We don't have words to express our gratitude.
Thank you, Sarvaj Bhai. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Yashna Ben. Nice to see you.
I liked like two things which you said. That is, because we take and give sorrow, karmic account is created. And that is the reason the soul becomes heavy. And the second thing is, instrument does not have mind of its own. It just follows instructions. So Dadi was the embodiment of it, Dadi Prakash Maniji. And we need to become, we are in the process. So thank you for that. It was lovely, nice learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Yashna Ben. Appreciate it. Thank you. Nice. Are Nilu Bhai, Om Shanti Shiv Bhai. How are you? So good to see you. Maybe your mic is on mute, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Baba also told now today, be carefree, Emperor. Give all the loads to Baba and be carefree. And but children have the habits of carrying the load, thinking and making small thing into big. But you told right, like Karmatit, like Dadi was all the time holding so much responsibility of managing sisters, centers, abroad, overseas center, but still she's so happy, carefree. Like what you told also, I remember in 1995, I met Dadi. I was just seeing her, this brukuti, that forehead. It was so, it was so glowing as if it is a kind of volcanic. It is so energetic. Still, I can remember that scene and all. But great,
How beautiful.
great to meet all of you.
Thank you,
Vedanta.
Shivbhai.
Om
Oh,
Shanti.
thank you for joining all the way from
Yeah,
India.
good. Yeah, no, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Shanti, anyone else would like to share?
You send your CV to me. Fine. Yeah, sister, you tell. Sister, tell.
No, go ahead. You can go ahead and finish. Wow, this is a lot of information, Saurabh. It is beautiful the way you present it, understandable. And I feel like it's just again, it's even a much deeper level than the class I think we had last week on transformation. It seems like to me, I wanted to ask you that the 3 levels of, find it here, Dharma, Dharma, and Karma. That's just the whole process of transformation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And the way I'm understanding it is the whole process of a spiritual transformation. But then when you experience a metamorphosis of the soul, does that occur naturally in the Dharna? You have nothing to do with it. It just occurs naturally in the Dharna.
Very nice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very nice.
Beautiful.
No, very nice that you connected both the sessions. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Joy. Always appreciate your presence. Shanti. Any other thoughts?
Thank you, Brother Saurabh. It was a beautiful presentation and it was very meaningful. And thank you so much for doing this to us. It makes our day so peaceful and our thoughts start in the right direction again.
Thank you, Rinku Ben, and appreciate. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Shanti, Rika Ben.
Thank you for another great lesson.
Thank you, Rika Ben.
Concentrate on Swa-Dharma and Dharma. Very nice connection there. And bring in good actions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shanti.
Appreciate Rika Ben. Om Shanti. Any other thoughts? Yeah, Sister Jaina. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing Yeah, exactly. My Swa-Dharma is very strong. Swa-Dharma is strong, then so is my Dharma, and my yoga leads to perfection. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Very nice. We have Bindu Ben. Om Shanti, Bindu Ben. Yeah, I'm not sure if she's able
Om
to.
Santi Vaiji,
Om
sorry,
Shanti.
it's a little disturbed here.
No
That's
problem.
why I was not talking.
No
It was beautiful class. Point लिखना था पर हो नहीं पा रहा था मेरे को कि
नहीं।
दूसरे काम पे भी थी पर मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा था दिस मॉर्निंग जो हम क्लासेस कर रहे थे उसमें से भी जो पॉइंट्स आ रहे थे तो धारणा के लिए बहुत अच्छा था इन एंड आउट के लिए थैंक यू ओम शांति
Om Shanti. Thank you. And we have Divya Ben and who else? Yeah. Om Shanti, Divya Ben.
Thank you, Saurabh Bhai. It was a great
you.
class,
Thank you.
a great presentation.
Thank you.
Very well explained. Really touching. Thank you so much for what all you do. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you. And we have Rajesh Ben, Naresh Bhai from India. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om Shanti, Naresh Bhai.
क्लास बहुत अच्छा लगा क्लास अच्छा था और एक जो चीज अच्छी लगी कि अगर हम जो कोई भी काम करते हैं अगर डिवाइन मतलब ऑलमाइटी की याद में रख के करते हैं उनको साथ रख के करते हैं तो जो भी काम करते हैं वो एक अच्छा काम होता है और उसका कोई हमारे ऊपर बोझ नहीं चढ़ता और अगर हम अपने किसी स्वार्थवश या किसी के रिएक्शन में काम करते हैं तो उससे हम भारी हो जाते हैं और एक बोझ बन जाता है हमारे ऊपर और वो बोझ जो हमको डे टू डे लाइफ में भी तंग करता है फिर जो भी हमारा सोचने की शक्ति है उसको भी इफेक्ट करती है तो अगर हम परमात्मा की याद में रह के या भगवान की याद में रह के कोई भी कार्य करें हर कार्य करें तो हल्के भी रहेंगे और कोई शरीर मन पर भी बोझ नहीं रहेगा सोचना भी हमारा ठीक रहेगा लेकिन इसके लिए भी बहुत अभ्यास की जरूरत है कि बिना अभ्यास के सब संभव नहीं है इसलिए बहुत लंबा अभ्यास चाहिए ओम शांति
Om Shanti. Thank you. Thank you. Nice.
और राजेश में थोड़ा सा रेस्ट में
जी no problem. No problem. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Anyone else would like to share?
Yeah, I had another question.
Yes, Sister Joy. Yeah.
The swa is that it's almost like the DNA of a soul, like your specific, unique soul's expression that you've come here to share that, like a teacher, like that. Is that right? Kind of like a DNA of the soul, because in unity we have this. We say we are all each a unique and unrepeatable expression of God. So that uniqueness. That what the Swa.
Yeah, very nice. Swa is, I think the English translation would be self, like true self, Swa.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's really a nice way to put it as like the original DNA of the soul. It's like something that the soul actually, very innate to the soul. Very innate to the soul. And that's what the original impressions also we see, the Swa. Like Shanti, peace, love, bliss, happiness, purity. All these are like the original impressions on the soul. Swa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it.
Like what makes the soul up. DNA is a very good word. It's like what makes the soul up. It's like what makes the body is that, the DNA or the atoms, right? So what makes the soul up is this feeling of peace, experience of peace, purity, truth, all these. Yeah.
But we all, yes, as souls, we all are made up of that.
Yes, absolutely.
When we incarnate in the body, when we become an instrument, that's when we have our own unique expression, right?
Yep.
That helps then others to realize that they too are all these elements of the soul: love, peace, truth, purity. We all each have our unique expression. The purpose of having us as God creating us as a unique expression is for us then to share our unique expression to help others come to realize that they are a soul and what that is. What is the makeup, the composite of the soul.
Beautiful, beautifully expressed, Sister Joy. Very nice. Thank you. Appreciate. Great. Thank you. And any other thoughts, anyone? So the thought actually was that next week is, I think, August 30th, and the thought was to make it a very lively and a celebrative and a interactive session. There's so many things to celebrate. It's also like Dadiji's month, and then a lot of festivals. Also, like Baba's home here has been 4 years. So 4th year anniversary also. So a lot of things to celebrate. So the thought was we would do something to really create a good experience together. So please do join and then also share some of your experiences. So we'll try to create it in a very different and unique way next Sunday. Thank you. Shivbhai, yeah.
Yeah, see you. I was just remembering how you are living peaceful, angels alone, remembering Baba all the time, light, easy flying.
We also remember Shivbhai, you came a couple of years back, and it was around October time or something, and we went out for a walk with you.
Yeah, Bloomingdale we get it.
Yeah, Bloomington we get it. Right.
And good. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivbhai.
Yeah.
Just stay on for a minute. 1 second. So blessings for everyone. This is for Krishna Bhai. In the midst of uncertainty, the determination in your thoughts becomes the guiding light of success in front of you and others.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Shiv Bhai, this is for you.
Yeah.
Balance between the head and the heart by filling feelings with wisdom and your decisions with love.
Good, thank you. Thank you, sir. Totally.
Huh?
Totally.
Totally is invisible, totally. No, actually, totally bhi hai. Ek second.
Yeah, give us totally.
So this is Badam Toli.
Yeah, great.
Healthy Toli. Thank you. Thank you, Shiv. Rekha Ben, this is for you. You go deep within yourself to find a place of stillness and bring this calm into your outer world and interactions. Very true. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this is for Bhartej Bhai. You realize there is benefit in every moment. You always reflect your virtues in each situation and remain carefree. Today's carefree emperor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, he's there, Bhartej Bhai? Om Shanti.
Bola tasa. Sorry. Please go ahead.
Om Shanti, Bhartej Bhai.
Om Shanti.
So good to hear your voice.
How are you doing?
Yeah, very good, Priya. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Shanti. We'll hopefully meet everyone soon. Baba will find a way. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
Last, you came in April, nah? That was
April. Yeah, I was thinking the other day.
Yeah, it's been like 4 months. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sister Joy, you are courageous. You stay light and cheerful by passing through everything as a game. Thank you.
I'm learning to do that finally. For fun, not competition. Just enjoy.
Very nice. Thank you. And Archana Ben, every day is new and precious. You realize this and welcome each moment with wondrous joy.
Thank you.
Thank
Shanti.
you. Om Shanti. Saroj Ben, you radiate with the realization that peaceful thoughts create a peaceful world.
Thank you, brother. Om
Thank
Shanti.
you. And Kaval Bhai?
Yes.
Create happiness by offering something to everyone you meet. A smile, a nice compliment, cooperation of your time and energy.
Thank you, Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Bindu Ben, your life is a message of courage and compassion. How beautiful. Very true. Thank you. And Rajesh Ben, success follows you like a shadow because you always wear a crown of light, might, love, and peace. Thank you. And Naresh Bhai, you change your world with positive and pure thoughts. The world then becomes a beautiful place to live in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shanti.